Early Morning, Chapter 26. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira, with artwork for the opening and thumbnail image by Cat Saturn Art on Instagram. I will leave a link to Cat Saturn in the description box, as well as links to the prior 25 chapters. If you're still listening, comment "No Tikki," and please enjoy Chapter 26. Marinette Dupang Chang. Paris, France. Present day. Something had changed. Marinette couldn't quite put her finger on it, but something in her life was different after taking an afternoon nap than before she closed her eyes. "Tikki?" she tried, knowing the call would be met with silence. Yep. No Tikki. Just Marinette Dupang Chang, being delusional in her bedroom. Marinette stretched herself awake and made her way to her desk, ignoring the workbooks piled up and the same cardigan she kept leaving out of her wash cycle. One of the downsides of losing your memories is making up your education, and while she'd been fortunate enough to get into a hybrid program, Marinette didn't see herself making much progress with her studies today. Instead, she pulled out her yearbook, thumbing over the first few pages. She'd gone over it once with Alia, back when she'd first woken up in the hospital, but hadn't picked it up since. Seeing herself trapped in time doing things she had no memory of irked her, and hadn't picked it up since. Maybe it was because of her talk with Luka yesterday, but Marinette felt like she could face herself now. A letter fell out between the pages, sliding across her thigh before hitting the floor with a soft thud. A letter. She reached down and picked it up, realizing it matched the one she'd found from Ladybug to her friends. Except this one had her name on it, in her handwriting. This was a letter for Marinette. She tore open the letter without hesitation, pursing her lips. It was about time Ladybug reached out to her. She'd left her a mess to clean up, so the least she could do was provide an instruction manual. "Hey, girl." Marinette rolled her eyes at the greeting. Had she really been that obnoxious? "Your life is probably a mess right now. No thanks to me. If you're reading this, that means my plan worked. But it also means you don't know who you can trust right now, including yourself. My fault, I know, but you'll be doing us both a favor if you read the rest of this letter." That does it. Marinette would find a way to punch past Ladybug. She didn't know how or when, but she would. Everything about her screamed obnoxious. First of all, people you can trust. Alia. She's your best friend. She hasn't always been there for you, but she's always been there for you. Know what I mean? She'll always have your best interests at heart. Nino's a solid person to turn to as well, but he's closer to Adrien than you are. So if there's any type of falling out after this, I know they'll choose each other over you. So far, her words were correct. Both Alia and Nino did wonders for her over the past 5 months. Even though Nino himself came across as distant, she could still tell he had her best interests at heart. Chloe, surprisingly, might also help you through this. I know, take it with a grain of salt. But there's no one who will tell you something exactly as she sees it like Chloe Bourgeois will. Surprisingly, Sabrina is also one of your friends now. She'll do almost anything to help you as well, after everything you've been through together. Now, if I haven't lost you yet, I'll need you to look after Adrien. I know he'll blame himself for all this, despite it being my decisions that led us all to this point. Sure, he's brave. Braver than anyone, but he does run away from his emotions. He'll fight the toughest villains as Cat Noir, but as soon as his mask comes off, he'll try to hide. Adrien's gotten better over the years, but some things time just doesn't undo. Marinette scoffed at the paragraph. Their lives would have been easier had she started out with this information, that's for sure. But Ladybug had a point. He did seclude himself whenever he couldn't find the words or a solution. She'd witnessed it multiple times in their short time together. And most importantly, Tikki. Her breath caught on the mention of her partner. Chances are Cat Noir, Adrian, has her after everything goes down. Or perhaps Alia? Who knows? She told me that whenever a wish is used, she always has to take a super long nap, and the only thing she'd wake up for is one of Dad's skelettes. Bring the earrings to a baking session, and there's no way she'll be able to stay asleep, especially if you call her out with the spots on. Spots on? What was that? And why a galette? Yeah, clearly she missed the context of whatever Ladybug wanted to tell her. Marinette pulled out her phone and scrolled until she found him. Hello? Luka's voice was warm on the other end. Hey, hi. Marinette wasn't sure if they were close enough to be calling each other casually, but so be it. Quick question, does spots on mean anything to you? To me? No. She could hear him chuckle on the other end. But to Ladybug, yes, it's the phrase she needed to transform. To transform? Like mask and magical spandex? Yes, exactly that. No other reason. I suppose you could also use it to call your Kwami, if I think about it. If one got in a fight with someone or something, there'd be no better way to rein them in by forcing them into Miraculous. I know Cat Noir had to transform a couple times just to find Plague. Wait, really? Yeah, the little guy had a penchant for sneaking out to rob cheese stores and the like. Marinette smiled at the thought. Was Tikki also the mischievous kind, or was that something special about the cat's Kwami? Were all the Kwamis troublemakers? Thanks, Luka. Was that everything? Yeah, I guess it was. Why? Well, if you aren't busy, it'd be nice of you to join me at the studio this afternoon. Have a little fun. Oh, Marinette didn't know what to say. I already have plans, but thank you. Next time? I'll hold you to that. Talk to you later. Yeah, later. She hung up the phone, wondering if she'd misinterpreted that last bit. He hadn't been asking her on a date, had he? No, Luka was just being friendly, being nice, being the guy Ladybug described him as. Nothing more. Whatever. Ladybug shot a text out to Adrian, telling him to meet her downstairs at the bakery in an hour. If anyone was going to see Tikki again, it would be her. If Marinette knew anything about Ladybug, it's that she didn't put that information in there randomly. It was the key to getting her little partner back, and maybe even her life. This might be the tipping point. All at once, everything might change. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 27 is on the way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fanfiction. And if you like fanfic, you want to wear some merch, I do have a Redbubble store with fanfiction-themed apparel and items. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!